All right, y'all. Welcome to the next deck profile, which is maybe yeah, this got to be like in my top five favorite decks of all time, definitely. Which is my Volcanics. But this one right here is definitely I'm running with a twist. I run these Volcanics with Runics. Yeah, that shit sound crazy. And this deck is like it's really knocking at 60. It's gonna wind up being 60. But I field tested this and I have great traction with this deck. And when they see the Runick engine coming out with this, the looks on their face of what the hell? It's a beautiful feeling. And the way I run these volcanics in general, like even back then, it's just a very passive aggressive deck. But let's get into it though, okay? Let me put this over to the side. Even though y'all kind of seen that anyway. And I should have organized that part a little bit better. I was just doing some last minute things. I don't know what I did with it. But anyway, I run two Volcanic Emperors in this deck. Yes, there's only one here right now. I was over here shuffling around some stuff. I'm pretty sure I'll find it in the middle of this live. But anyway, I run two Volcanic Emperors. Why two instead of three? Two is the perfect balance, especially with the way that you can get this back on the field. You could run three, but I think it's at that point it becomes bricky because there's too many ways to get this into your graveyard. There's too many, and on top of it, you're only banishing either three pyros from your graveyard to summon them to your side of the field, or one blaze accelerator to get them to your field. Now, it's not that if you're running your volcanics like the way I do, at least similar to the way I do, that should not be a problem at all. Anyway, as soon as he summons to your side of the field through his effect, as soon as he summons, his effect goes off, you burn your opponent for each pyro monster that is banished, which should be anywhere between 5 to maybe 35,000. Yeah, somewhere within that range. 500 the least, but on average, I'm burning people for 2,000 opening turn. All right, and then his other effect, you're able to set a volcanic trap card from your deck to your side of the field, which is volcanic emission and volcanic inferno. And then his effect says that whenever your opponent special summons anything to their side of the field, so summon a monster or a token, whatever, it's still a monster to the side of the field, you burn them for 500, which is very sweet in this format. All right, anyway. And then I run one Greater Inari Fire. Very easy to pull. You can special summon this one directly from your deck. You just got to have one spell cast on your field and another Pyro monster on your side of the field. And then the effect activates, you send them both to the grave, special summon them to your side of the field. And then you choose a monster on your opponent's side of the field and you burn them for its original attack. So if they got a blue eyes, they are feeling all 3,000 of that burn. Just whoosh, goodbye, cinder, whoosh, yeah, all that. But sure enough, indeed, they are going to burn for that. Well, why is this there? Sorry about that. Yeah, and on top of that, again, it's real simple to summon it. And on top of that, if this leaves the field, you can add the spiritual fire art. How you pronounce that? Karana from your deck to your hand, which is great. Which is a great effect. I'll get into that when I get there. Okay, and then I run two Hitta the Fire Channeler. I was going to run it at 3. 3 is good. 3 is definitely ideal. But I chose to leave this at 2, especially with my deck being as as swole as it is. 2 works. Anyway, its effect is I could send this and a Pyro monster from my hand to the grave to add a Pyro monster from my deck to the hand, which is 9 times out of 10 I'm going for a Volcanic Trooper and then letting the shenanigans continue from there, or whatever else I particularly need. I either go for Trooper, Rimfire, or Volcanic Shell. Usually one of those 3. Rarely I go for Rocket. Anyway, and then on top of that, if a power monster gets destroyed and sent to the graveyard, this special's from your hand, which is not bad. But the first effect is what I really need that for. Anyway, I run 2 volcanic counters. It's only effect that I really need it for is just if your opponent attacks or you take any kind of battle damage, you send this from the grave. Your opponent shares that damage that you just took. It's alright. It's not bad. And on top of that, your opponent don't necessarily see that shit coming. They'll be like, they'll see it fall to the grave, but they won't even ask a question like, "What does that level 3 bullshit do?" Until they ram into you and deal some significant damage that leaves you alive, and then you pitch this from the grave, and then you burn them. And the chances is, if you burnt them for that attack, chances is you already did some previous burning damage to them. You should just pretty much, if you don't win behind this little shenanigan right here, you're on the way. Anyway, and then I run 3 scatter shot. Scatter shot's effect is when it's sent to the grave, your opponent burns for 500. Now, if this is sent to the grave by a Blaze Accelerator's effect, you can send this from your hand. Yeah, when it's sent, either from you send the other scatter shots either from your hand or your deck to the grave, and you destroy all your monsters, all your opponent monsters on their side of the field, and they all burn for 500. It's not targeting. Yeah, the Blaze Accelerator, they target except for one, but and I'll show you that one when I get there. But past that don't even matter. But it just has to hit the grave from a Blaze Accelerator's effect for the shenanigan to go off. It's pretty sweet, and your burn, that's 15,000 right there for the burn. So even if they stop the destruction, you still burn their ass. Anyway, I run 3 volcanic rimfires. Rimfire's effect is when this card is sent to the grave, I can banish it from my grave to send a volcanic monster from my deck to the grave. And 9.9 times out of 10, I am sending Volcanic Emperor to that grave. He will be sitting right there at the ready. All right. And there's other effect is if you banish another one, you can what was it? Special summon a Blaze Accelerator? Yeah. No, 2 effects. Then you can banish 1 Blaze Accelerator card faced up on the field to the graveyard, and if you do, place 1 Blaze Accelerator from your hand or deck to the field. So if you got a regular Blaze Accelerator to the field, you send the Blaze Accelerator to the grave, and then in this place you swapping it for the Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. You're pretty much upgrading. Now, that's pretty much it. And then I run 3 Volcanic Rockets, which I'm debating on dropping it from 3 to 2. Only because my deck really is knocking at 60. But just to add a little bit more oomph to it, I might just cut it down. Anyway, Rocket's effect, whenever it's summoned to the field, normal or special, you just add a Blaze Accelerator from your deck to the hand. It's not bad. Now, him right here, he definitely gets it going for what you need. He is definitely that trooper, for real, for real. Volcanic Trooper, as soon as he's summoned to the field, normal or special, you add 1 volcanic card from your deck to your hand. So that's either a volcanic monster, spell, or trap, whatever you need that specifically says volcanic in its name and the title of that card, you add it straight to your hand, all right? Which is pretty sweet. And then in secondary effect, I could banish a card. No, I could send a card from my hand to the graveyard and give my opponent a bomb token. And that bomb token has 1,000 attack and defense. And if that token leaves the field, your opponent burns himself for 500 attack. Okay? And then I have 3 volcanic scatter shots. It's not a bad card. It's just as soon as it hits the grave, I pay 500 and then add excuse me, and then add another volcanic shell from my deck to the hand. It's just, again, which is not bad. The 500 might seem a little but with this deck it should not matter. All right, and I definitely found my other volcanic emperor. Told you I'll find it before this video's out, in the middle of this video. Anyway, It's not bad. And on top of that, it helps feed the graveyard. Yeah, you keep getting your stuff to your hand, but it's definitely farther for the graveyard. Anyway, going to the traps. I only run but so many traps. Like I run one spiritual fire art Kurenai. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, this is the one you get from Greater Inari Fire. When this trap card goes off, you target a fire attribute monster on your side of the field. You tribute it, and your opponent burns for the original attack of that monster. So if you have Volcanic Emperor on your side of the field, you tribute off Emperor, your opponent burns for that 3,000. You target Rocket, your opponent burns for that 19. You target Scatter Shot, your opponent burns for that 300. You target Scale, no, I said Scale. Volcanic Shell, your opponent burns for that 100. Whatever the original attack is, your opponent burns for it, all right? Yes, I run one Mirror Force. Mirror Force don't target, and I still love this effect. Just demolishes all your opponent's monsters. That's an attack position, granted, but they go bye-bye. And then I run one Evenly Match. Y'all should know what that does. Then I run two Blaze Accelerator Reload. I might drop this down to one, but it's working for me at two. Now, with this effect, this effect, it definitely works beautiful. Granted, it's like you send a Volcanic card from your hand to the grave, and you draw one. Okay, so pretty much, if you got a brick hand, this should help mitigate the pain while feeding the grave. So say like if I have this and it's my opponent's turn or whatever, my opponent's in the middle of doing his shenanigans, and I have Scatter Shot in my hand, in the middle of them doing whatever it is that they're doing, I can definitely activate this, or if it's even already activated, I could use this effect that turn, then use Scatter Shot to send it to the grave, and then draw my card, and then Scatter Shot's effect goes off. It goes off behind a Blaze Accelerator's effect, and this is a Blaze Accelerator. All right, it goes off. Now, and even if this does get destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can still banish this to send a Scatter Shot, from your could you send this from your grave to the void, and then you can send a Scatter Shot either from the deck, from your deck to the graveyard, and then the effect still goes off. So this is definitely a great way to clear the field and administer some burn to them. Now for this one right here, I run two Volcanic Emission. I was gonna have it at 3, but for me at 2 is definitely working for me. It allows me to either special or add a Volcanic monster from my deck to the hand. But if I do special it, on the end phase, it comes back to my hand, unless of course it gets destroyed. And then the second effect is that I could target one Volcanic monster on my side of the field, one Pyro monster on my side of the field, and inflict half its original attack damage to you. So if I got Volcanic Emperor, you're taking 1,550 direct damage to your life points, which is not bad. But only thing is you either want to use one or the other. So it's like, you can activate both of them the turn, but you got to choose which one of the effects you're going to use for that turn. All right. And then this one right here is Volcanic Inferno. I did have it at 2, but I'm going to try it at 1. Again, just to see if I can speed up a little bit, because my deck is it is brolic, but it's all clicking. Volcanic Inferno, I activate it. If my opponent activates a monster effect, I could banish one Pyro monster from my graveyard and inflict 500 direct damage to their life points, and I can negate that monster's effect for the turn. This effect is only good for the once per turn, right? And then this other effect is that I could target up to 2 Pyro monsters, either in the grave or banished, and shuffle it back into my deck, which is not a bad effect. Only thing with that, it leaves me conflicted, because I'm like, I want to put stuff back into my deck. But if I got stuff that's banished, I want it to sit in the void. And if I got stuff in the grave, it could sit in the grave. Because I know I'm going to get Volcanic Emperor. I'm gonna want to get stuff banished. So when I summon it to the field, that's gonna be more damage. That's more fire you're gonna burn directly in their face. All right. But with that being said, though, it's still a great card. It is what it is, though. All right, and then I got my monsters over here. I'm doing too much. Put that right there. And then going into the spells, I was running like 22 monsters. For my spells, I'm running 24, about 24. Anyway, I run one Regeki, one Harpy's Feather Duster, one MST, right? Cool, kind of the staple stuff, right? Now for this one right here, I run 3 fire fire ejection. Pretty much on activation, I send one pyro. What is it? One pyro monster from my deck to the grave, and I can either inflict damage to my opponent's life points according to the level of that monster, or special summon a bomb token to the side of the field. If I'm opening up 9.9 times out of 10, I'm sending a bomb token to the side of the field, period. So I can move more free with my monsters effects, so they won't be able to drop imperm in the midst of me setting up my board to gear up for the FTK. All right? And this deck can definitely FTK. All right. Now I run one Runick. Yeah, now I'm going to the Runick engine, right? Double check. Well, I'll show y'all the. You know what? Let me show y'all what's left with the volcanic stuff, and then I'm gonna go into the Runick stuff, right? So I was really quick to just show y'all what I got for that. Anyway, I run 2 Volcanic Blaze accelerators. This accelerator is so fire to the previous 3. This one will take the number 1 spot, followed by Blaze Accelerator Reload. Because this effect right here, this is like fire. This shit is like a key component to this goddamn deck. It's like, yeah, you activate it, you send a Blaze Accelerator from your deck to the grave. Not a problem. Once that's done, it has 2 other effects that you can use in the same turn. One, you can special summon one volcanic monster from your hand to the field. And the other is I can destroy one of my opponent's monster cards on the side of the field, pop it, and I send a volcanic monster from my deck to the field. From the deck to the grave. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going for Rimfire to send Rimfire to the grave, then use Rimfire's effect to banish itself to send Volcanic Emperor to the grave, just to get more fuel into the void. All right. And then I run 3 Blaze Accelerator. Well, I was gonna have this at 3, but truth be told, I just can't find another person who has an extra one, and I just refuse to go buy it online. And I know it don't cost but so goddamn much. Really nothing. Yeah, I know that. Call me cheap. But I'm like, with the set that's out, with everybody supposedly playing, I'm like, you can't tell me I can't just get one more of that. So, and then on top of it, I don't want to wait like a whole another week and a half or whatever, plus I got to pay the card, plus the 2 cents for the tax. No, thank you. I'm not cheap. It's just, I'm sounding cheap. Anyway. Going into the Runick engine. Running 1 Runick Fountain. Debating on bumping it up to 2, but 1 is definitely working for me right now, okay? On top of that, I'm sure y'all know what this do. As soon as you have this on the field, any Runick card, if you activate a Runick quick play spell, you could target up to 3 Runick quick play spells that's in your grave and add it shuffle it into the deck, and then draw 3 up to that many cards Runicks that you shuffled in. You add that from you draw. That's what you draw from the deck. Okay, so it's not bad. And then 1 Runick Storm, I might bump this up to 2, but I definitely love the fact that whatever they end with, whatever cards, whatever it is that I feel is a good size number. Like they have 5 cards on the field. I activate this. They banish up to 5. If they got 7 cards in the field, I could banish up to 7. If they got, 5, 10, I think the most cards any player could have under their control is 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 max, right? And this is assuming, if you get your opponent in a U lock, meaning you locked up both their extra zones and whatnot. If you manage to do that and still got a full back row, full monster zone, and you got the field card, yeah, and they got that field card in the field, that is a total of 13, unless my math is wrong. I mean, hell, I got a GED, but I think that's basic addition. Anyway, I run one Runick droplet. It's not bad, right? 2 Runick slumber, 2 Runick tip, 2 Runick destruction, 2 Runick flash fire, and 2 Runick freezing curses. All right, that's the spells. I pretty much keep them all at 2. I ain't trying to run 3 of each. And if I was to run 3 of any one, it would probably be Runick smithing storm. Just because I like the amount that I could banish. I do like that a lot. All right, going into the extra deck. And I probably should have said this earlier too. This deck, it is 99% done. There's only like a few things that I would tweak into this deck, and that's more so because my mind is just is not it's not at 100 because I'm seeing what I can do. I love the volcanic stuff in the deck, but I'm just seeing the options, the variety of stuff that I can do with it. So this is a very good problem. So this is what I have for right now. It's definitely tournament tested. All right. Anyway, I want what's the fusion? I'm not gonna try to pronounce that right here, but I'll try it. Sleipnir, the Runick main. Pardon me if I butchered it. I'm sure I butchered it. And then I run hold on, I think I got 2 of these. Yeah. 2 Higgin, the Runick wings. 1, how you pronounce that? Moonin, the Runick wings. Pardon me if I butcher these names, y'all. 1 Baguska. I'm gonna find the other one when you got the other Baguska. We got the beer bottles in his hand, looking plastered. That's the one I want. When he got the 2 Colt 45s in his hand, just looking hurt. All right, and then I run 1 Solomon the Great. How you pronounce it? Alaman Raj. I think that's how you say it. Then I run 1 Solomon the Great Raging Phoenix. Yeah, the Phoenix. Yeah, that was a weak ass call for it. Yeah. And then 1 Scareclaw Tryhard. 1 hit of the Fire Charmer Ablaze. Access Cold Talker. Nightmare Phoenix. IP Masquerade. Doolittle Chimera. Relinquish Enema. You're going to need him onto the field in order to reach Greater Anari Fire. Because he is in one of the cards, like the only spellcasters I have in this deck. And 1 Link Karibo. I was gonna put Sunlight Wolf into the deck, but to be honest with you, I rarely touch my extra deck. Like these are, granted, I think I have a solid extra deck, but with that being said, with like my duels don't really last but so long because I'm burning them to death. It's like me going into my extra deck. It's like, oh shit, they really are trying to fight back. Their cards are actually doing stuff. I need to slow them down from doing stuff. So thus, that's why I got that stuff there. But I don't really got an extra deck. The extra deck is just, one of the Volcanic Inferno and anti-spell fragrance. I might not even use this altogether because I need my cards to go. This is more so just to delay my opponent, from activating spells and whatnot. It hurt me in the process with my Runics, but that shouldn't be a problem. These are just my little funky little tokens. Just my little tokens. But other than that, y'all, I think I have a pretty solid deck. I think I'm truly am the only person right now, if nothing else, on YouTube that's currently running Volcanics with Runics. And yeah, the deck is pretty goddamn big. Yes, it is above 40. But with that being said, from what I was doing out here, from the field testing and stuff like that, and participating in tournaments, I have pretty good traction with it. The looks that people have is just like, that's a lot of goddamn cards. But hey, I'm doing a whole goddamn lot with what I have. And at the end of the day, that's ultimately what happens. Because I'm sure y'all could testify on y'all behalf. Y'all seen individuals who have a 40 card deck, and it just be straight buns. Like they just straight brick out every time. But, I've also seen individuals who have, like my good friend Joe, this man's just a 60 card deck master. Like the synergy he has going on in them decks is just, it's awesome. Bottom line is, as long as you get your deck to flow, rather it's at 40, 44, 50, 54, 60, do your thing. With that being said, I will catch your good folks later. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe this video. And please, of course, let me know what y'all think. If y'all like it, you like it. If you don't, I just ask that you tell me what you don't like about it and see if I can improve. To be continued, y'all.